let's get into week 8. In week 8, baby is 0.9 inches and 0.07 of an ounce. Baby is the size of one of those gummy candies. I'm not sure if you remember, it's the cola bottle. Let me show you what it looks like. It says, this is the week that your baby's reproductive organs will either become testes or ovaries. The heart is now developed into a tiny replica of the full-grown heart, and it has all 4 chambers. The bones of your baby's arms and legs start to firm up and the trunk straightens. I had our very first ultrasound appointment. My husband and I went. We were able to meet with our OBGYN, who will be in charge of my care throughout this pregnancy. We filled out a ton of paperwork at the beginning of the appointment, and then we got to see baby and hear baby's heartbeat. At the week 8 appointment, you are still very early on, and fetus inside doesn't quite look like much. So what they usually do at 8 weeks is do an internal ultrasound where they use a wand. And so the wand is relatively about this big, and it gets inserted into the body through the vagina to take a look at what's happening in the uterus. So in order for me to kind of explain this to my husband, basically he was like, does the thing go inside or outside? So in this appointment, 8 weeks, it went inside. And here is our photo of our little bean, our little nugget. So adorable. In case you are interested in some of the information, baby was measuring a tiny bit big, so the due date that we were given is still the due date, but according to baby's size inside of the uterus, baby was measuring a couple of days before the estimated due date. And also we got to listen to the heartbeat, and baby's heartbeat at week 8 was 164 beats per minute. In week 8, I was also peeing a lot at night, which I feel like I've been saying that almost every week, but I was peeing a lot. I was experiencing a lot of disrupted sleep. I could not sleep from the beginning of the evening to the next morning. I was waking up a lot, not just to go pee, but to also turn over. I really wasn't comfortable, and I just would keep waking up. I also experienced a lot of cramping in week 8 toward the end of week 8, almost week 9. It was very, very tight. It was very uncomfortable and hard in my uterine area, so that was also a symptom of week 8. In week 9, baby is 1.22 inches and 0.14 ounces. Baby is the size of a small piece of chocolate, like those mini Snickers or one of those pieces of chocolate that you get in the C's candy box. All right, everyone, let's get into week 9. So in week 9, the fingers and toes become properly separated, losing any of its webbing. The eyes are moving from the side of the head to the front, and this is where they will eventually be located. Bone development continues, and you can even start to see the joints. In week 9, I experienced a lot of cramping that took place, and that was just in the very beginning. So just at 9 weeks, exactly that one day, I experienced a ton. I actually wasn't even able to really get out of bed. My husband was out of town, so I decided to really just take it easy. Fortunately, I had to cancel some of the events that I was going to go to. This week, especially in week 9, it was very, very uncomfortable to lay on my tummy. I hadn't been laying on my tummy since I found out I was pregnant, maybe even before, but something about week 9, it just was a no-go. Also, when it comes to food, I was hungry, but nothing really sounded that great. Like, I wasn't really into eating anything. I would eat it, but it was just like, oh, okay, whatever, because it's here. Also in week 9, it was recommended to me because I met 2 of the criteria that I begin baby aspirin, so low dose aspirin. I think it was 81 milligrams, really tiny pill. So I'm taking that along with my prenatals every day. It was recommended to me because 1, I am a first-time mom, and 2, I do identify as African American or Black, so Being on that low dose aspirin is really there as a precaution to prevent preeclampsia. I also started to feel really interesting pain. I don't want to say pain, but very interesting, like sharp feelings across my uterus, like going from left to right and right to left. I don't really know what that was about, but I would feel these kind of like shooting pains moving across my uterus, which I had never felt before. But it wasn't anything that was alarming. It was just like, oh, that was different. And it didn't last more than like a couple seconds. In week 10, baby is 1.61 inches and 0.25 ounces. Baby is the size of a fortune cookie. Week 10, if you could touch the little fingers, you could feel that tiny fingernails are starting to form. This week is when the blood will start to be circulating between the uterus and the fetus, and the placenta will actually start to function. The risk of congenital defects becomes less now that the vital organs are fully formed. Week 10, we actually ended up telling some of our closest friends and a few more family members. We had an engagement here at our house, and it was just really hard to kind of pretend that I wasn't pregnant while having a really good time with our friends. So we made the announcement to our closest friends that were able to attend the event at our house in person, and it was really fun and exciting. I also began in week 10 looking at registries. I wanted to see what different registries had to offer. I also know that you oftentimes can get a free kind of welcome or sign up bag of goodies if you were to register at, let's say, Target or Bye Bye Baby. So I wanted to take a look at that. I started out with an Amazon registry. There's a couple of things you have to do to kind of get this free Amazon box, but I decided to do it, and I started that this week. If you're interested in knowing kind of what the ins and outs of getting kind of some free baby swag, let me know in the comments down below, because I think I want to do a separate video on that and how I was able to get some free baby items through the creation of online registries. And I say this because as soon as I graduated, my very first job out of college was working with pregnant and teen moms and their partners. And so I know a lot of times there are folks who may not have the money, they may not have the budget, they may be doing things on their own, or maybe them and their partner don't have the support of their friends or family. And so there are some harder times there that some people can experience. So if anyone's interested in those, like how to get that free baby stuff, let me know. Also, week 10, I noticed I was getting out of breath very easily. I would randomly just go up a flight of stairs and then it would feel like I had just gotten off a treadmill. So, out of breath. Lots more middle of the night potty breaks. My breasts were super sore on the sides. Very sore. As soon as my eyes opened in the morning during week 10, I felt very sick. I felt that pit feeling in my stomach. Although I wasn't hungry, although nothing was necessarily wrong, I was pregnant. And that was a feeling that as soon as I woke up, so I was keeping crackers in the car, I was keeping crackers at my desk in my office, I was keeping crackers by my bed. So I had to just put something there. It wasn't a nauseous feeling. It wasn't like I had to throw up, and I never really did vomit, but it was just really that pit feeling that I didn't like. I would also experience a little bit of mood swings, I think, that were noticeable during this week of pregnancy. I would have a lot of energy and be super happy and energetic, and then the next thing I know, I'm like, okay, I need to sit down, I need to go to sleep. So it was really interesting in how quickly things could kind of turn or change. Week 11, baby is now 2.13 inches and 0.49 ounces. Baby is the size of a macaroon. Right, week 11. In week 11, your baby's liver and spleen are now producing blood cells, and the pancreas is beginning to release digestive enzymes. Your baby is now able to bend, stretch, kick, and even make faces. Kidneys are now producing urine from the amniotic fluid that they're ingesting. My husband was out of town again this week, so I did not get to see him, but I was keeping him updated on what was going on. I started to also see the little line the line that goes kind of above and below your belly button. So I started to notice that happening. I also started to see my belly button get pushed out a bit further. I know I mentioned this previously in a different week, but I'm starting to notice it more during week 11. I was super excited because I spoke to my husband and we had some money left over in our FSA account, our flex spending account, so I was able to go shopping. Of course, I asked if my husband wanted anything or needed anything from the FSA store, but if you don't know much about it, it's basically money that you put in throughout the year, and you have to use the balance before the year is up, or else the money kind of just goes away. And so we are not about wasting money over here. So I went on a large shopping spree and bought tons of stuff for pregnancy and baby. If you all are interested in seeing what I got, please leave a comment down below. I am super excited to kind of do a haul video for you all to show you every single thing that we bought. We had some regular kind of low budget items, and then we had some really kind of high ticket items as well. So I think that would be really interesting to share with you. Let me know if you're interested in seeing that video. And in week 12, baby is 2.91 inches and 0.81 ounces. Baby is the size of a cupcake. Week 12, your baby now has the ability to open and close its fist and make sucking movements. All the organs are developing into their final shapes, including the stomach, liver, pancreas, and intestines. Your baby's lungs are practicing breathing with amniotic fluid. The lungs won't breathe oxygen until birth. One really big thing that happened in week 12 is that we had our NT ultrasound. So my husband and I decided to do some of the genetic testing that takes place during the 12th week of pregnancy, just to kind of just make sure that things were going okay. This specific test includes one ultrasound and 2 different sets of blood work. So that was really exciting. I was told that this ultrasound was going to be a lot different than any other ultrasound that we had. Well, we've only had one up until this point. So I wasn't really expecting much, but honestly, my husband and I were so impressed with the technician and the doctor that we saw that day for this ultrasound. We got to hear the heartbeat again, and for those of you who are interested, the heartbeat was 165 beats per minute, or BPM, and we also got to see the baby in extensive form. Like, we saw everything, like the head to the feet to the legs. Baby kind of moved its hand up a little bit and then moved it back down. It was really awesome because, again, at 8 weeks when I showed you, kind of looked just like, you know, not much on the screen that we were able to view, but this time we got to see our baby and hear the heartbeat again, and it was so exciting. We also got pictures, so our ultrasound tech was amazing, printed out some pictures. They weren't blurry this time, and we were able to share that with friends and family as well. So here is baby. Let's see, I'm trying to get rid of the glare so y'all can see. Baby at 12 weeks looks good. Heartbeat was good. The testing went good. We got the results from the measurements that they took that same day, and then we got some results from the blood work a couple of, maybe like a week later. And so everything looks perfect and very low. They can't say 0%, but very low risk of any abnormalities in terms of genetics that we don't already know about, as well as the Down syndrome testing. Another really fun thing is that my husband and I went to a event at our local hospital. It's called Meet the Midwives, and so we were able to go and learn more about what the midwives do and ask questions and see kind of what having a midwife on your care team would be like. And so it was an hour-long event, I believe, and it was very well done. There was a panel of different midwives that have been there, varied experiences and longevities of their work, as well as just one kind of lead midwife who was going through their presentation. So if any of you have considered using a midwife, Definitely look into it. It is pretty amazing. I think the midwife philosophy is more in line with my own, seeing as how I am a trained labor and birth doula. So it's really awesome to see kind of the things that I'm able to bring to the hospital, the things that I'm able to do, and for my husband to hear a lot of the information that was new to him. And it was just an awesome experience. So that's one of the other cool things that happened during week 12. Week 12, I feel I was really beginning to show and look like I was pregnant. Previously, it felt as though I may have looked like I just had too much to eat or something like that, but this actually looked like a baby bump in my opinion during week 12. So I started to flaunt it a little bit. I bought a shirt that says Mama Bear and another one that says I only make miracles or something like that. And so just some of these maternity clothes that kind of accentuate the bump, as opposed to all of these weeks where I was attempting to hide anything that made it look like I was pregnant. I also had plenty of bursts of energy throughout the day. So much energy, in fact, I was working from home one day and I was taking a bit of a break, and my sister-in-law called me and asked what I was doing, and I was just like, oh, I'm just up working, getting a snack, and I'm also cooking dinner. She's like, it's 9:30 in the morning, you're cooking dinner? So yeah, lots of energy. I also told my coworkers that I was pregnant this week, so that was pretty fun. I told them towards the end of week 12. I was literally 12 weeks and 6 days, so it was right before I turned 13 weeks. However, I let them know at one of our staff meetings, and they were so excited for my husband and I, and it was really fun to see their expressions, and I'm so thankful for their love and support. And we also decided to share with our social media friends and family about our pregnancy. So we created a really awesome photo that we took, and we posted it with a cool caption, and it was amazing. So thank you so much to everyone who reached out to us, who liked that picture, who commented on it, who sent their love and congratulations. That was week 12, and week 12 has been amazing. That brings us to the end of part 2 of my first trimester update. If you have made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. Go ahead and like this video, comment, and subscribe to this channel for more content. I will be uploading our 13-week update, and that way you will be all caught up. And then I will be doing those updates once a week, and I will most likely post them on Saturdays. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I will see you right back here real soon in the next one. And remember, just like always, fill your cup, because you are absolutely worth it. See you next time.